Nah, it's fine.
So we got Druid versus Rogue. We had that matchup just a few seconds ago, and it didn't look so good for the Druid. Maybe VanillaTitan can play it a bit better, but Numberguy is already...
Rogue.
Yeah.
It didn't look so good for the Rogue.
Yeah, as I said, didn't look so good for the Rogue. And VanillaTitan can maybe play it better this time.
Well, I don't think the Rogue last game had a really good card draw. Like, his draw was meh. Keeping Deadly Poison as VanillaTitan is okay. The problem is, as a Miracle Rogue, you really want to be turn 2.
You really want to be turn 2, and the turn 2 is for Numberguy, and he has a White Rose already, and a Stampede and Kodo, which is, yeah, more or less useless. He can kill a Staleness with it. That's the only minion you could Kodo here. It's interesting to see one in his hand, and it's a 3/5 minion, so that's good. Weapon up or shift? I prefer the weapon up, actually. Like, long term, you deal more damage. You have no turn 3 play. So weapon up is, for me, always the better play. The only advantage you get from a shift, you could draw an Earthen Ring Farseer and have a turn 3 minion out. So
you also want to use it to heal yourself.
Yeah.
Walkrow.
So White Rose, no surprise. Numberguy, obvious play. White Rose, next turn he could coin out Kodo if he wants to. There's the Earthen Ring, actually. So if he would draw it anyways, even if he shifts or not. But would you go for it now or like shift Deadly Poison?
I would use it now.
Okay. Shift Deadly
Look,
Poison was an option too.
Such a nice guy. Just healed Numberguy.
Just seal him up.
So many guys.
We got Raz, possible, maybe Yeti. But I think I would prefer the Raz here and just your ability. You go on 31 with armor. And if you play your Yeti, you just give him the option to kill your Yeti easy mode. So
yeah, and take 3 damage.
Yeah,
if he's not able to kill the Yeti, like to kill the Yeti, he has to invest a lot.
We could just adjust Deadly Poison and SI7 Agent, which I think is actually the coolest play here. It's
the best play. Deadly Poison, SI7,
yeah.
Take 4 damage to the face. Another possibility would be Shift Eviscerate to get more card draw, but you want to get control over the board. So, yeah, definitely agree there. Deadly Poison SI7 is the best.
I just like it so much. You just get your 3/3 minion out, you kill it perfectly, you get 2 3/3, so that looks like extremely good. And you have an Azure Drake. Azure Drake shift 2 damage, Azure Drake Eviscerate 5 damage, so you would get more value from your shifts just waiting. As we see, that Azure Drake will not survive 1 turn to get some shift value with the swipe out. Still,
Chillwind, Join, Breast.
Yeah. Just get rid of the threats. You did it once, like keeping 1 3/3 alive. You don't want to leave him 3 3/3s. As we know, he can still kill the next Yeti, so no problem. Reno here for VanillaTitan.
He has to take 4 more damage. Well,
play
Azure Drake. No, play Azure Drake.
But if you play Azure Drake, would you still run in your Earthen Ring to kill the Yeti?
Yep.
Well, if you get a backstab now, just value. Just saying.
Well, that would be really good.
A Blood Mage Selness is pretty nice, but with a Blood Mage Selness, you could just wait a turn, and then, for example, next turn, Blood Mage Selness shift. That would deal 5 damage for the Yeti, so you could deal the 3 damage to the face.
He's gonna trade the Yeti.
But you waste 1 damage. That's what like, if you trade the Yeti, you deal 6 damage to the Yeti, and you don't need to. So yes, there's a swipe, and if you run the Yeti in that minion, you can now Selness shift. And Selness double shift even, and deal in total more damage than any other way. You only have a 1/1 out now, okay? If you play Selness shift. But you get rid of the Yeti, and even okay, now you can play Azure Drake, Preparation shift if you want to. But I think Selness shift is a better way. Just draw 2 cards. Double shift, draw 2 cards.
I think
and
go
get your
Azure
auction,
Drake, just kill him with the weapon.
You can still do 3 damage with the weapon in the face. You need the cards, and you could get 3 cards in total if there's no silence. And you still have the Eviscerate Drake left.
I think Selness shift is the weakest play, in my opinion, because you have 0 board control, you know. And we know that there's a Kodo. There's still, like, if there's a whatever is upcoming. Ancient of Lore, Innovate, Hero Ability, gets rid.
Okay, he goes for the Preparation shift. It's like it hurts. The preparation shift hurts, in my opinion, a lot. You need to do it when you play the Azure Drake, but you lost your preparation. So as soon as you get an Auctioneer now, that like hurts you. Ancient Watcher, 2 cards. That's pretty good.
Well, that's just gonna get
Yeah,
killed.
that's gonna get killed with the Eviscerate.
Now I would go Salnus,
And go
Shift, Eviscerate,
crazy 3 damage
Conceal.
shifts.
No, not Conceal. That would be too all in.
Well, it depends on what you draw. The next 2 cards. You could Conceal, since you got a 4/4 and a 1/1 out. A second swipe would diminish your board. And it's 5 damage you're holding.
You could also... Oh, it's risky. You could just... Oh, wait a second.
You think about sap and kill with a weapon, or I mean shift and kill with a weapon, or
No.
just sap the minion.
That's also a possibility. I would shift the... No, it's shift the druid. See what I get.
If you
Oh,
can,
it-
you can play Salnus shift anyways, and still.
The thing is with Salnus... Yeah, you could. He's not gonna use a swipe on the face, most likely.
Yeah, he has a Kodo, so he can kill the Salnus, but you don't know about the Kodo, so you wouldn't fear it.
But you get card draw, which is okay.
Absolutely.
But the problem, you get 1 more damage out of the shit. Oh, okay.
Oh, there's the Auctioneer. Now you're happy.
Are you?
Yeah, you get a Conceal Auctioneer. You get Conceal Auctioneer and Sap, so you can play 2 spells at least next turn. And if we don't see a swipe for Numberguy, there at least the Azure Drake is going to stay alive at the moment. So you could go for Ancient of Lore, double card draw since you have an Innervate, but that wouldn't be a swipe. If you go for Azure Drake, you can still Innervate out the Kodo. And if you go for Azure Drake and you get a Raz, that's cool. You can Raz and Hero ability. Well, if you don't get anything, just
to
Innervate out
play
Kodo.
Azure Drake and then Innervate out Kodo.
Oh, if you would get the
Swipe.
Raz,
The swipe you can use. Well,
the
the swipe, Innervate swipe would be perfect, of course.
but using a Raz, I think it's cool too. You just get rid of the full
Completely
4.
fine. Like,
But Azure Drake is the first, like, how you want to start, absolutely. Get a Raz, so you can Raz now for 4, and then I would actually Innervate and Hero ability. Even though you got your Kodo killing,
fine.
the Salnus, you want to get rid of the 2 minions on the board. But 1 card more for VanillaTitan, and he has the Auctioneer Conceal Sap we were talking about. He could just sap that one. It's 1 more card to draw, but you're just going further and further into the game.
Doesn't matter, you get rid of a minion.
Double Fan of Knives. So if you get a Conceal Auctioneer, you can just draw 4 cards next turn. That's just madness. And he could get a Preparation also. A Shadow Stab, okay. But you're gonna stab. And still 3 damage on his blade, so never underestimate that. And next turn is just gonna be madness for VanillaTitan. So many cards to draw. What does Numberguy want to do? He can play Ancient of Lore, just draw more cards, hope for a Force of Nature. But your enemy is on 24 HP. You need to get him down.
Play Ancient of Lore, heal yourself up. Hero ability, and then, yeah, just attack.
That's a good play. It's just like 1 minion out, as you always say, it's sometimes not enough.
That's true, but you need to heal yourself up. 18 is, like, there's 7 damage on the board.
Yeah.
Leroy Shadow Stab Leroy would be over.
Already over, even if you armor up. So as you say, you need to heal up and use your hero ability to actually stay alive. No other way possible. You need to play a Claw, like Azure Drake, hope for a Claw if you have one in your deck.
Well, that's like, I don't understand that play.
No, that wasn't the safest play. That was maybe not counting, I would say. He has 2 minions out, so that's good. And as we know, there is no Leroy. But still, that wasn't the play I would have chosen. Are we going to see attack the 2/3, double Fan of Knives, and then go for the SI7 agent on the Azure Drake? That would be 4 cards and everything dead on the board. We'll start with 1 Fan of Knives. You can still attack the Harvest Golem with a second.
Start with 1 Fan of Knives.
Yeah. And then or run in your minion. You don't even need to attack with the weapon. You don't need to take damage. But you waste the 4 damage you could do to the face. I think it's okay to do both things. Backstab, that's so unlucky. If you had the backstab earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, Blade Flurry. Now everything is still cool. If he wants to Blade Flurry here. But I feel the... What can he do? He could Blade Flurry, and then, for example, Van Cleef. If you Blade Flurries, that was already one spell. That's 2 spells. You could play... Yeah, you could just play Van Cleef. And even Shadow Step, if he wants, and make Van Cleef bigger. I'm always dreaming of big Van Cleefs, but this is a perfect one. 6/6 Van Cleef. Can get silenced, but cannot get big game huntered. So really good in the end.
I think I would have considered backstepping my own Van Cleef and then seeing what I get and eventually going Shadow Step Van Cleef.
Then he's in big game hunter range.
Then
And
he's
in
12,
swipe
12.
range.
He's in swipe range. It's incredibly risky. I agree.
The annoying thing is just...
He's not in swipe range though.
The annoying thing is just the big game hunter range. So that's like the only thing that would annoy me. Numberguy down to 12. He could clear with a roar. So that was a nice move from him.
Top deck Leroy GG.
Yeah, top deck Leroy GD. Or even the SI7 agent is good. He has weapon SI7 agent. So that's going to be 6 damage. And follow up with Earthen Ring. So 2 minions out and 5 damage in the face. Bring him down to 7. That's like, he can bring him down to 7 if he wants to now. And he has still card draw potential. And the sap. So he can sap up a Taunter. It's just looking super good for VanillaTitan. Could be the first win for the eSuba player.
Yeah, Numberguy. Seems like the problem with the Druid deck, I said it already before, is if you lose control over the board, it's really hard to come back. And he's dropping lower and lower. Overall, I think he had 2 taunts in his deck, the Druid of the Claw. That's about it, because you don't expect to lose the board control or not get it.
There we have Shiv, Eviscerate, Backstab, though he can just drop everything, but he doesn't need to. He just has the 9 damage he needs. Even he redrew even Eviscerate, so without this sap, he could have just backstabbed, eviscerated, and won the game anyway.
Yep.
That was just really good for VanillaTitan. A Miracle Rogue does it once again.
Miracle Rogue.
Miracle Rogue. The German version of the Miracle Rogue. Der Wunderschurke.
Der Wunderschurke.
I heard that today in my chat, and that sounded a bit strange, but it's still cool.
Wunderschön.
So, GG for VanillaTitan, wrecking the Druid of Numberguy. And we haven't seen any other who has the Auctioneer first. Keep the Earthen Ring maybe. It's actually cool to have it turn 3.
Numberguy is going second. So he definitely wants to draw into an SI7 agent or a Deadly Poison.
Well, I guess...
He got a Deadly Poison at least.
You got a Deadly Poison, Shift, Fan of Knives, Shadow Step. That's not so bad. VanillaTitan is still thinking to keep the Fan of Knives or not. The
that
good
would
thing...
be expected. That would be surprising.
Well, the good thing about Fan of Knives is turn 3, you draw a card.
Yep.
If he plays nothing, you just draw a card. You get a weapon turn 2, you attack with your weapon turn 2, then you attack with your weapon turn 3, and you draw a card turn 3. So that's why he might just keep the Fan of Knives. And as you say, big advantage for Numberguy. He just has a coin. Even if you don't use it pre-turn 5, with an Auctioneer coin, whatever, that's just a huge advantage.
I think, like, why keep Fan of Knives? It has no value against the Rogue. And if you only use it to draw a card, why not just mulligan it and draw a card without using 3 mana?
Well, you could get something worse, like just get it.
What's worth?
What's worse? A sap is worse in this matchup.
That's
the only card you could actually get. So yes, your argument is valid, but if you get a sap, that would be sad.
Yeah, but I'll take that chance.
You take that chance. Yeah, that's correct. We see for VanillaTitan, the card draw turn 3, and there's the sap, so
Nice.
it didn't change anything. He got the sap with the Fan of Knives in the end.
Well, actually, sap is better in a Miracle Rogue mirror because you can sap a big Van Cleef.
He can sap a big Van Cleef. There's absolutely the advantage.
So Fan of Knife is officially the worst card in
For
a Miracle Rogue mirror.
Numberguy, we have the Earthen Ring Force here, just heal up, and already preparation, Shadow Step, coin, SI7, Deadly Poison. He just needs to get his Auctioneer, and then it's going crazy.
Solnus Backstab.
Solnus Backstab, weapon, and just go for the face a bit. I guess.
No. Solnus Backstab, Eviscerate the face.
But you still have the Drake for later Eviscerate. Like, you didn't need to do it now.
Well, what 5 damage minion is there? Well, you could keep it. I guess you should. Well,
For an auctioneer, maybe.
you should keep it for an auction.
You can sap an auctioneer, but you won't kill an auctioneer. You don't want to sap it. So using your eviscerate now is possible.
It's risky. I agree.
It could just hurt you long term so hard. I think Cellness, eviscerate, and just go for your weapon. In the end,
well, that's one play. Or you go
backstab SI7.
backstab SI7 and get the board.
Yeah, backstab SI7 is possible. The only annoying thing again, you just do 1 damage too much. And well, that's the only thing. As you say, you get the board, and now Numberguy needs to do something. Well, as we know, his possible play could be just weapon up, or shift coin SI7. There are like 2 plays where coin out. Coin out is rank. That's not an option. But shift coin SI7, you get the board advantage back, as you say. That would be your favorite move, I guess. Just get the board advantage back.
Yeah. It is my favorite move, but only because he has a preparation and a deadly poison on his hand. It wouldn't be valuable if he had no spells left for his auctioneer.
Absolutely. For VanillaTitan, yeah, again, 3-3 on the board, no backstab for him. So I guess last time the backstab move might have been better, just to have a Cellness out to draw a card. Now he's kind of, he has no options in hand. So
Cellness most likely wouldn't be out because he had still a weapon.
Yeah, it would have died, but he would have drawn 1 more card.
Yep.
And that's the only advantage I see in the last play. If you had done it different. Now he has an Azure Drake out, but that Azure Drake double preparation. Though I see it going to die to an eviscerate that he's going to draw. And if he's not going to draw it,
I see Fan of Knives.
Yeah,
just straight the 3-3.
Oh, he doesn't even need to.
Prep
sap here.
Yeah, definitely prep sap.
First, he draws 2 cards. Oh, there's it. Well, now you're gonna prep conceal. No surprise. But you need to kill the Azure Drake with this 3-3. Yeah. If he goes Fan of Knife, if he goes Deadly Poison Blade Flurry with an Azure Drake out, that's 4 damage. You cannot risk it.
That's true. You're so smart.
That's
why I love casting.
I was just luckily sawn. Sometimes you miss the most obvious things.
That's how you gotta play.
The advantage is by casting Miracle Rogue, if we count it, we saw around 30 Miracle Rogue matches in the last 2 weeks. So you get used to everything in this matchup. And if you play it yourself, it's easier to cast. That's always the thing. If you're not a Miracle Rogue player, it's harder to cast since you're not seeing the plays. You would see because you did him already yourself 10 times.
Because you're so good at the game.
Now VanillaTitan, well, he has Cellness out. There's a 4-2 on the board. That just hurts. He cannot kill it. And he's going to draw... Numberguy is just going to draw his whole deck now. Around his whole deck. He gets a Cellness himself, 2 cards, even Eviscerate. There's Deadly Poison if he wants. Double Deadly Poison even. Could deal the 5 damage blade. There's Cellness plus Eviscerate if he wants to. Just do 9-10 damage in total. If he wants to.
Go weapon.
You could go Weapon, Deadly Poison, and Cold Blood.
Yeah, I was thinking about Cold Blood as well.
Cold Blood is obvious for me. You can do it now or later, but with Leroy it's a glass cannon too. So you do it once with Leroy, or you do it now.
Ooh, drew another auctioneer reel.
That's super good. I still think I would have gone for the Cold Blood. It feels better for me, but it's okay. He has 5 damage on his blade. He has 5 damage with Eviscerate, but he could have done that damage anyways with the weapon. But the Cold Blood now without Leroy won't do its damage.
And VanillaTitan, that's the problem in the Miracle Rogue Mirror. If you don't draw into your auctioneer, well, good luck.
Still, he can at least clear the board, bring his enemy down. He might have played it slightly different. For example, go for a Big Van Cleave, but that would just get sapped. So, yeah, he could play it different. It would be devastating in the end. It's just looking super good for Numberguy. Backstab, so he can Cellness, Backstab, Eviscerate if he wants to. Or Cellness, Auctioneer, Backstab just to draw a card.
What? Cellness, Backstab, Eviscerate, Van Cleave.
Yeah. That's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 8, 8 Van Cleave.
Don't play the Azure Drake.
Well, he draws a card. Can still Backstab and can also Eviscerate.
Still.
Van Cleave would be stronger.
It would have gotten a stronger minion.
But as you say, fear the sap. So if it gets sapped, then you're rid of your Big Van Cleave again.
If it gets sapped, gets sapped.
The advantage now is you at least you drew a card. That's good. And you are like, you're close to get your Leroy. So I guess that was just hoping for.
The difference is that your Van Cleef, there's a need to sap him or use eviscerates on him. And he already had a deadly poison, so just in a Azure Drake or whatever, just some spell damage or a shift, just whatever, Fan of Knives, and you can kill that Azure Drake. Would not have been able Van Cleef, so you would have forced at least 2 mana or prep sap, which is 2 cards.
Are we going to see crazy Van Cleef? I mean, he could play Preparation, Eviscerate, Van Cleef, Shadow Step, Van Cleef. So he could do like a really obese Van Cleef. That will get sap instantly. There's just the option, like that's his last option in theory, to just go for super crazy Van Cleef. He brings his enemy up to 3, 6, 9 cards. That's sad. If he had one more card, and he actually does it. So if he does this now, that will be
14-14.
14-14 Van Cleef. Quite strong. It's gonna be so sad. It will just get.
It's gonna be so sap.
Yeah, that's just. Well, not even sap. It might just get. He might just die now. He's on 15, that's not a lot. That Leroy, Shadow Step Leroy, GG, with the weapon in his hand.
Leroy Coldblood, it's over.
Yeah, Leroy Coldblood, it's over. Whatever, just Eviscerate? Is it over with Eviscerate? No. I was like, that makes no sense. Why should it be over with Eviscerate?
Short, I think. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it is. So he can play Blood Mage Selnus,
no, it's
Auctioneer,
more than 1 damage.
and Sap. No, he cannot. He can. Auctioneer and Sap is actually the play I prefer to see.
The problem is he has 10 cards on his hand. Needs to get rid of some.
Oh, there's another Shadow Stab. Well, he gets his own Van Cleef, a 6/6 out. And as we know, Sap was played from VanillaTitan. He has only got a Blade Flurry left in his hand. Well, there's the Auctioneer. He can draw 1 card.
Value!
He can draw into a preparation. No, he used both preparations.
Come back!
Yeah, no comeback, sadly.
No,
no preparations left. It's really annoying. You do the perfect, you do a really good play last turn. But you had all this, if he just waited 1 more turn, he would have had everything to draw his deck. And now he has the 6/5 Van Cleef against him with an Eviscerate, with a weapon.
Next turn.
Yeah, he could have drawn its handlock. I would always pick handlock. If your Merkur vs. Merkur Rogue mirror failed, then go handlock. That's just a deck that's made to win against.
So I actually think the handlock has a big advantage if he goes second. But if the Rogue goes second, it's even matchup.
It's even, especially if you get the saps. And VanillaTitan is not getting the biggies. The good thing is 2 Earthen Rings, that's advantage, and the Twilight Drake. If he follows up with 1 more Twilight Drake or a Mountain Giant, that would just be devastating for Numberguy. I mean, he has a sap in his starting hand. There's Blood Mage Selnus, thinking about keeping it. The good thing is you get Selnus out, that's card draw too.
Well, you want Selnus, first of all, it's a nice drop. Secondly, he gets a lot of spell damage with Selnus Shift, Selnus, Fan of Knives, in case of a Zulok.
In case of a Zulok, and you cannot play like is the handlock, so that was actually a good draw for him in the end. You have the potential to come back if you fall behind. Leroy already for VanillaTitan, that's a wrong player wanting to have Leroy from the beginning on. And there's also a Ring Forest here for Numberguy, so he actually has a turn 3 play. I think that's big value. You get more pressure on the board against your enemy. And you can actually kill the Twilight Drake easier with his 3/3 on the board.
Go Earthen Ring.
Would you heal, but you make your Twilight only weaker?
Yep. By 2 HP. But I would get a 3/3 on the board. And I might force him to use a backstab or something onto me. So I think that's valuable.
The good thing is
right now, he could just like potentially play Selnus, Cold Blood and trade or whatever. Like, no, how much damage, how much HP does a Twilight have? 9, right?
It should be 9 HP Twilight Drake.
Backstab Cold Blood, it's gone. Backstab Eviscerate, it's gone.
Yeah, he could die now, so, but it will get sap, obviously. And the good thing is he can sap and get a weapon off, so you have even more damage. And next turn you have Auctioneer, Coin, and then Deadly Poison. Plus, maybe get a preparation for your Eviscerate to kill everything. And the only thing VanillaTitan can do is playing his Twilight Drake again. Okay, I never said anything. The only thing he can do additionally is drop a Mountain Giant, even though the Twilight Drake is stronger. I mean, the Twilight Drake would be 410. And that's only an 8-8.
What? 8-8 is strong.
Yeah, 8-8 is strong, but it will get killed. If he goes Salnus, Eviscerate, and then just weapons up and face tanks 8 damage, that minion's just dead.
Salnus, Eviscerate?
And then just Deadly Poison. He could face tank 8 damage if he wants to.
You could also just run in his...
Yeah, but would you rather have his 3-3 out to deal more damage? I mean, you face tank 8, that's not going to hurt. He might have the Leroy combo, as you say, like Leroy, Faceless Manipulator, Power Overwhelming, the combo you want to do, but that's a turn 10 combo, and pre-turn 10 you want to win. He's down to 18. You got a Blade Flurry, you got double spell damage. It's quite strong.
Think...
You're still unhappy with face tanking.
Yeah, I'm still unhappy, because I rather want to face tank against taunts when it's really needed.
It's going to be really nice now. We're Numberguy.
I would have kept the weapon and traded with my 3-3.
That's going to be a 5 damage Blade Flurry.
It's
Going to
strong.
destroy everything. And just run in what you have left over, draw 2 cards, and you still get your Auctioneer. This was just like madness. And VanillaTitan lost actually everything he had. He's on 13. Well, now there's a Molten Giant. So that's a good thing. Molten Giant, and he can even heal up himself. But you kind of want to kill Numberguy's Azure Drake. This is risky. If your enemy draws a Leroy, you're instantly dead.
Leroy insta-kill. Cold Blood, double Cold Blood. Cold Blood Eviscerate, double Eviscerate.
There's some good stuff. Okay, Gnomish Inventor is not what you want to see.
It's useless.
Okay, how much damage could he deal? Maximum. Can Fan of Knives, Eviscerate. That is. I was thinking about maybe double playing as a 7 agent, but you need to combo first your Eviscerate.
Can't.
Yeah, and that's why you can't. I guess. Gnomish Inventor might even be... No, Gnomish Inventor might even a good thing to do just to draw a card. You have your Eviscerate, so you can Eviscerate the left one anyway and trade your Drake in. Or you Fan of Knife as a 7 agent and then run in your Drake. So you Fan of Knife as a 7 agent, yeah, and then you could run in your Drake. Shadow Stab you as a 7, play him again and kill the 3-1 left over. That would clear the board, at least.
I will clear the board.
But I guess Gnomish is just better. He gets a he gets a Fan of Knife. That sucks.
It's not better. It's super risky.
Well, he could draw a Cold Blood, as you say, and then that's 8 damage. That's 8 damage plus 5, so it's 13 damage. Now he's a 2-4 on the board, and well, the 3-3 cannot kill the 2-4 without a Mortal Coil. It's good for VanillaTitan. I mean, he has a Mortal Coil, he has a Siphon Soul, he can heal himself even up. He could heal himself up by 3 and next turn again, and still plays a Mortal Coil. That's pretty nice. It's not still plays a Mortal Coil. That was bullcrap. Okay, he could heal him up with the Earthen Ring and then play the Mortal Coil by attacking with the Earthen Ring if he wants to keep his Siphon Soul. But I would say rather use your Siphon Soul now before you cannot use it. I mean, if there's a Concealed Auctioneer, you cannot Siphon Soul that one, and you want to Shadow Flame it away, obviously.
You want to trade into it. Mortal Coil. See if you get a Twilight Drake. If you get Twilight Drake, be happy. If not, just cry. Even Defender of Argus, like Sunfield Protector, he wants a taunt now because he's so low, and he's gonna heal himself up regardless by 3, and by having the Earthen. Wow.
I think I would have never done that.
No.
Whatever you draw, you cannot taunt it up. So that's like, whatever you draw, you cannot taunt it up. You get a Mountain Giant, wow, that's cool. You get a Twilight Drake, that's cool.
What are you gonna play? Like, what did he want to draw there?
Okay, we have now Auctioneer, Backstab, and then Fan of Knives. That's just super awesome. I mean, he's gonna draw, and even Preparation. So he can draw so many cards now. He can draw 4 cards with double Fan of Knives, and there's a Cold Blood. If he gets a Conceal now, VanillaTitan is VanillaTitan is just screwed officially.
Wow.
Even a Shift, so 2 more cards. That was just a perfect draw for Numberguy. He may be able to kill.
Wet Mop is 1 more damage.
But when you Shift, like you want to have your Leroy, you're already so hard in. You could just get it next turn.
Oh, I would.
He has a backstab for next turn either to just draw even more cards. There's so many options.
The problem is if there's a Watcher Shadow Flame, would be annoying now.
And not only watch out Shadow Flame.
That's why I was well, then you get in Hellfire range. It's both kind of meh.
I think still that life drain he did was absolutely unnecessary. He shouldn't have done it. The one life drain just last turn, that was too risky.
That was super risky. Coin flip.
Double Shadow Stab. SI7, Cold Blood. So he really needs Leroy. Okay, Auctioneer.
Well,
Auctioneer Shadow Stab maybe just to draw a card.
Auctioneer, backstab your own Auctioneer.
And then Shadow Stab him.
Not necessarily Shadow Stab. Well, yeah, you can. Doesn't really make a difference.
A 6/6 Van Cleef has to get Siphon Soul. Then he actually has to Siphon Soul plus Shadow Bolt to keep the board clear.
Yep.
And he's kind of not gaining anything by this. He just clears the board, but as soon as there's a Leroy coming, he has nothing taunted up. And we see Auctioneer, backstab, Cold Blood. I would even go for Auctioneer with the Cold Blood and 2 Siphon Souls and 2 Earthen, 1 Siphon Soul, 1 Earthen, 2 Earthen Ring Farseers to be seen. I guess just Shadow Stab. Oh, there's Leroy. Okay. Next turn, that's really good. Next turn, that's really good into GG. How does VanillaTitan want to win? So, he used his Leroy to clear the board.
Yeah.
He needs to taunt up and kill everything.
Oh, Jiraxxus even. Jiraxxus slightly, I prefer him over Alexstrasza. He is slow. But he at least gets, like, if he gets rolling, he's crazy. Still don't really think he's that valuable in a handlock.
I guess the only thing he can do is defend off Argus, Iron Beak Owl, or Iron Beak Owl, Argus that Iron Beak Owl up, and then Argus up the bow's minion. So he has 3 taunters in total, and then Soulfire away the Auctioneer. Since you get 3 taunters out.
Did he use Blade Flurry already? He did, right?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
So
and it's great.
That's just great. You get like a nice board out.
What?
Yeah,
kill the...
Well, you can kill the 3/3 now, the 4/2. It dies anyway, so the 4/2 is more obvious for me. And you get 2 taunters, obviously not 3.
Yep.
In my brain, somehow we went into 3 taunters. And the most annoying thing is, that's the best play you can do, but there's a sap for Numberguy. So whatever happens, he can trade off the 3/3, sap the 4/3, sap the 3/4, and then win with his Leroy, Shadow Stab, Leroy, Shadow Stab, Leroy.
So Numberguy takes the cake.
And Numberguy takes a cake for his team.
And it's Innovation who just steamrolled over eSuba. eSuba lost their 3rd game in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they?
I'm not entirely sure.
I think they did.
They lost quite a lot last times, but it doesn't matter. They're still up front with 3/3. If it should be 3/3, they're still up front, hardcore. So they're not going to lose.
Yeah, 4-2.
We can look it up. For
Yeah.
Numberguy,